A lot of history here. A lot of things happened here. Yeah, a lot of things have happened here that are known throughout history. You know, like the Black Panthers were on trial here. Yeah. Yup. So I've seen a lot in my 66 years.
I'm currently in the process of collecting media. I actually went to the Yale School of Art and to the Annex, which is where there's a lot of printers, and I learned how to do inkjet printing on the wide printers. It was a super cool form of printing. The dimensions are very, very wide, and what I did was I did a lot of research about the Freddie Fixer Parade, like how it was documented through the years, all the different people and the community members that were involved, planning, and also like Freddie himself, who is the namesake of this parade. I used Adobe to kind of place it onto a spreadsheet that displayed all these photos, but I altered the dimensions of the photos to kind of use scale as a way to create some sort of depth and meaning within the project itself. For example, I have these very tiny photos, and these are just like participants in the parade, people who have enjoyed it, community members, dancers, there's more. People who've marched, who represented all these Black organizations in New Haven, you know, lots of artists, all these amazing residents, and I also have some slightly larger ones, people. So I really want to center people in my compilation of all these photos. I also did research and found these organizers. So these are on a larger base, you know, the dimensions are greater intentionally because I want to frame them in a way that is very visible. You know, these people are the leaders of New Haven. This here is Diane Brown. She is the branch manager for one of the New Haven Free Public Libraries branches, and I'm actually in communication with her right now. Emails, phone calls. I will be visiting this weekend to see just in action and in person how this parade is being kind of created. I'll be able to get some new material from that. I really look forward to it, and I think it's so cool that I get to connect with her. This is Fred F. Smith, that's his full name, and many regarded him as the Black Renaissance man, and he was absolutely talented at so many artistic things, and he had a very great persistence to him, where he wanted to use creative projects as a way to empower New Haven residents, specifically African American New Haven residents, because this was still at a time when people were hostile towards African American culture. In 1962, Fred F. Smith started a cleanup campaign, which was targeted at elderly citizens and other citizens in New Haven to clean up the areas around their homes to instill a sense of pride. This was important because what Freddie wanted to do was to use this action to help people, feel proud of where they are, to feel proud about New Haven and their own presence within the community. This was extremely important to Freddie, and afterwards he would follow this cleanup with a giant parade, think dance, art, music, culture all around to then further uplift the sense of pride. And because of its tremendous history, the tradition, and how it has been passed on for generations, it is now considered the largest African American parade in New England. So yeah, the Freddie Fixer Parade. I want to do more listening. I think that's very important.
Just to give an understanding of what, yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert. That's definitely not me, but learning is very important. Like, this one is, I just really like the composition of this one.
It's cute.
Like, that's like an example of something that catches my eye. I'm just from like an artistic,
That's cute.
and like
That's nice. So all the
this
women,
one is like the power of the movement.
the women on the bikes. Nice.
Yeah, and this one as well.
I got some old photos somewhere, but I can't. Somebody actually gave me some photos.
Oh wow!
Now I can't give you those copies. Let's see. I thought I had 3. Maybe it's just 2. Now those are old photos. That's the police department, and it has the year. 1989.
Oh, wow.
19. That's probably 1989. No, 1969. Those are old. Take them and bring them back to me.
I'll probably make a larger version of this.
Maybe that one will go in the middle. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. This one. I'll make a bigger version.
Thank you.
Wait, can you say just one more time who's in the photo? Here.
That's the board of directors, not the committee. That's the board of directors. Patricia Adger, she's the board of directors. That's me. She's the president of the board of directors. I'm the vice president of the board of directors. And Donald Carter here on the end, he is the artistic director. And then this woman right here, Nina Silva. She was just a committee member. She's on the parade committee. Someone I could just really want. I mean, you could just, I'm just thinking, just give everybody equal billing.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Feeling like, oh, you picked them over me and all that. So it's designed that way. Put it that way. It's no mistake that all the books in here are African diaspora, because that's what it's. When you were born in the 50s, I grew up in all that history. A lot of that history, I know it. I lived it.
What was that like?
It was great. I was born, very black, very cultural, very much into my cultural. I was born from very outspoken mother and family that was very much involved in the movement.
I want to capture like the energy.
Yeah, and I think it's a good project. I think it's a good project.
What's your perspective on like Yale, like as a university, like
racist, one of the most racist institutions in the world. I was born and raised in New Haven, very, very separate from the inner city community, very racist. The town goes along with it. You're gentrifying, you're building up all of these big apartments and condos selling for like $3,000 a month. Who can afford $3,000 a month? I can't afford $3,000 a month. It's very racist. I grew up in Yale is one of the most racist institutions in the world. Anybody can tell you that. How old are you?
I'm 19.
So you're young. How much more time you got?
This is my first year, so.
Oh, they want you.
I think in Chinese culture, there's an attitude that like family comes before everything. Like
on my culture too, African American culture is the same way, but also I think as time goes on, people in African American cultures do want their children or grandchildren to go out into the world and explore, and see the world, and not just be home. Well, I can see why people from other countries think it's so great to come to America.
Yeah.
One of my former colleagues here, Chinese, Xiaofeng. Xiaofeng and I were very close. We developed a very good relationship because we felt like we were both dealing with a lot of racism here in this library system and just like in the world in general. And we supported one another. And there were times when she was mistreated, but she was afraid to speak up because in her culture she was taught to be submissive. And I found myself at many times speaking up for her because I didn't like the way sometimes people spoke to her. I just didn't like the way, I didn't like how she was treated at all.
Well, that solidarity is very important.
Yeah. Listen, you don't have to like me. I don't care if you don't like me. But I have a right to my opinion. You have a right to your opinion. A lot of our opinion is based on how we're raised and, all that kind of stuff. And I get it, but I don't know. It's just not good. I'm not saying you have to put your fists up and fight or anything like that. You can say little subtle things like if somebody says something, be like, you know what, I'm human too. I'm human too. It's like I know a couple of people from the LGBTQ community that are younger and they moved to New Haven to go into whatever college in New Haven. And they said, Miss Diane, what advice would you give me? Well, if somebody's around and they're saying something derogatory, you just say, you know what, hey, I'm human too. You don't have to like me and who I am, but I'm respecting you. I just ask that you respect me. You just want respect. You're not asking to be accepted. Just, if I see you and I don't like Asian people, then I can just go the other way. It's other people that, I'm saying, that I can be with or be around. It doesn't have to, you know what I'm saying? People are just so small-minded. And I just think for me, just the idea that white people feel as though they're superior to everyone, just the thought of thinking, just for me to think that someone feels as though they're superior to me or you because their skin is white and they come from a superior race, that's mentally not well. Think about it. Think about it. I mean, I know black people, Asian people who we both may not like or care for too much, right? There's white people that we may like. It's black people we may like, Asian people. Then on the other hand, there's people that we may not like. Doesn't matter. People are people. You just can't group everybody together and say all these people are bad people. How do you do that? That's my take on all of it. How do you just, everybody's bad? I don't understand that. Well, I'm here if you need me.
I will be giving this collage to this library where it will be displayed with other pieces celebrating African American culture and heritage. I'm so grateful to add to this collection and really showcase this community. My final piece is based off of inspiration from one of the pieces I saw inside the library. Also, I was inspired by one of the books I read about Jean-Michel Basquiat, an African American artist whose prolific designs are still popular to this day, one of which we actually saw in the Yale Art Gallery. His designs are very funky, non-linear, and dramatic, and I wanted to emphasize that as part of the spirit of this parade. It's something fun, pop, and just something that catches your eye. I gave Freddie Michel Basquiat's iconic crown kind of as a way to show this connection of culture. And art really has the power to connect us communities. It has the power to make us know each other better. It has the power to fill our walls with something that just speaks something louder than words. Art has the power to take me, a Yale student from the West Coast, to Dixwell. And it has the power to make me fall in love with the people there. I'm really grateful for this project, Diane, and everyone I've gotten to meet. I'm really grateful for art. I think the best research is the research we do to one another. Maybe we won't solve all the world's problems, but we can look into each other a little more closely and understand how we feel and how we connect. Even though Diane has strong opposing views about Yale, I hope I've helped her open a door into what the people are like, because I'm just a curious learner and that extends to her. my research is more than anything that is too good for Dixwell or anything like that. My research is something that wants to go into that community. And I think art has the power to transcend any barriers. So thank you. Thank you for being a part of this journey. And go check out Dixwell.